Oh, hello. Good morning, everyone. How are we all? Tired? It's very early for me right now. I decided to hop on a few minutes early just to kind of like chat a little bit before we start, get the voice warmed up, and that sort of thing. I've literally just crawled out of bed. This is going to be. This is gonna be real, folks. It's gonna be a hell of a 2 hours. First of all, I like one thing I gotta say. I cannot believe that there are 17 people here right now. That's crazy. Where are all of y'all at? Like, surely the only areas of the world that are awake right now are like Australia, Oceania. Um, where is everyone at? Oh, I see Kate Henke. Kate, you're a patron of the channel. I'm gonna just quickly make you a mod, okay? Because I'm light on moderators because everyone is um is in bed right now. Um, wow, volume is a little low. Really? Oh, oh, oh. Hello. Okay. Uh, okay. It's probably as well because my voice hasn't warmed up yet. Germany. Oh, the Germans are here. Yeah. Look at Oceania. There we go. Australia, New Zealand, west half of the US. Are you awake? Wow. I expect the Europeans to be awake, but even then, I guess Sunday morning, people aren't working. We got people from the UK here, South Africa. Oh my God, India, India. Look at this, New Zealand, Netherlands. Wow. Good morning, Wales. Go on, Celtic solidarity. Um, yeah. So lots of Europeans. Jake, hello, Jake. How are you? I can't believe there's 44 people here. There's not 44. What the hell? What is the name? Oh, okay. I thought it'd be just like the graveyard shift here. Oh my god, the Maldives. I would love to visit the Maldives. Oh my god. Let me pop back here. Jake, I'm gonna make you a moderator if that's okay. Just to add another moderator. Um, so yeah, mods. Please be nice. Everyone seemed to be really nice last stream I did on the World Building Festival for the World Building Festival. So please continue that form here. If not, the mods um, have been given license to just mute people, time out people if people are being dicks. Because don't be a dick. It ruins the fun for everyone. Essex. I have family in Essex, Jake. Um, um, it's an honor. Free labor is an honor. Okay, right. So yeah, we're due to start at 9, but no one's on before me, so we have 7 minutes just kind of chill, hang out. I get a chance to drink a coffee before this starts. I guess what I'll do is I can use this opportunity to say what the hell's going on for anyone who's not informed. Oh, FYI, I'm going to turn off my camera. So in this view, you'll see me. In my desktop view, you won't, because otherwise my big ugly face is going to block a lot of the Blender UI. And I kind of want you all to be able to see what I'm doing because this is going to be will I talk about that now? Yeah, okay. We're going to do a Blender speed run. So we're going to create a world map by hand, painted world map in under 2 hours in Blender from start to finish, no prep. Um, like I haven't created any assets ahead of time. So I don't want to block up things in case people want to actually use this, as a tutorial in the future, But anyhow, this is the reason why I'm streaming. It's part of the World Building Festival. This is a festival set up by the great and powerful Madeline James. There she is down there. And it's been running for the past 2 days on YouTube, September 5th to 7th. Today is the last day. But it's an action-packed day of live streams from all your favorite creators. This is very small here, but trust me, links are in the description to all this. But trust me that lots of good stuff is coming on. After me, we got world building food from field to table. From field to kitchen to table, and that's with Madeline, Jake from Let's Have a Booba, and Hannah. I think that's Hannah something. I wasn't aware of Hannah's existence until this festival. And then Bib and Ross Bay Geo, the formerly known as Ross Bay Geo, lands unknown now, world building states and other polities. Then we got the biogeography of Odalu, forgive the mispronunciation, with Bib and Let's Have a Booba. Pillar World Economics, so an economics stream from McCain of kind of Langtime alumni. and Madeline James. Diachronic drafting game, Let's Have a Booba and more. Ooh. A retrospective of Residium. Language sketches and naming conventions by Langtime Studios, and then some final shenanigans. I'm going to miss everything today for personal reasons, but I'm going to try and hop in to the final stream, the final wrap-up stream. And I would encourage everyone else here, if they like this idea of a YouTube-wide world-building streaming thing, to hop into the final stream, 11 to 1 a.m. UTC, 7 to 9 EST. Hop into that stream at the very least and leave nice comments in the chat to signal to Madeline that we want more. It was good. The only thing, the L is a retroflex. Odalu. I think maybe. So yeah, that's the World Building Festival. That's why I'm doing it. And like I said, we are going to be doing a speed run in Blender, a by hand world from scratch. Now I will say, we have 4 minutes left of nonsense talk before we start. I will say just last night, my trusty Wacom tablet began to flake out on me a little bit. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. Worst case scenario, I'll just have to draw with a mouse, which is going to absolutely crush my my hands. But I guess that's realistic in that a lot of people, I think, use mice to draw stuff. You really shouldn't, but yeah, go for it. I've been watching since 2019, 2020. I was about to say that's not so long ago, right? Because 2020 feels like yesterday, but that's now 5 to 6 years ago. Crazy. Greetings from Italy. Look at this. How many people are here now? 49. Stop it. 49 at 9 in the morning. Oh, remind me to never sign up for these early streams again. Jeez. I have a tired camera. I also stayed up till like 1 last night watching YouTube, watching silly coding videos on YouTube. I shouldn't have done that. I'm so tired. This is gonna be so bad. I've been watching since you've been doodling on whiteboard. Says, I'm assuming Iba L or Iba I, or Uba U. Yeah, that's the 2014 crowd right there. My God, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. Reminds me of my age. I'm very old. Okay, all right. Here we go. I'm getting some energy. Here we go. All right. We got 2 minutes left, but we may as well start, right? Like, there's tons of people here, and 62. Oh, actually, maybe we should hold on for 2 minutes to get people to arrive. Yeah. Big fan of World Building series. Thank you, Space Explorer. Hi from Sweden. Great country. Got some good friends living in Sweden. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Hey, puss, I think is a thing that they say. Or that might be a hyperbolic version, like a meme of what they say. I think it means like hello, kiss, I think. No, you're a generational name in my family now. My dad introduced me to you to learn astrophysics. Stop it. Oh Lord. Wow, watching for 10. You've been going for 10 years, Jake? Oh, wow. Oh my God. Greetings from the Philippines. Never been to the Philippines. Would love to go. Hello from Denmark. Also, yeah, Northern Lights Radio. Hey, Northern Lights Radio. 10 years ago. Oh my God. This is really nice getting to read chat, unlike the last stream I did, which was just chaos. Absolute and utter chaos. Washington, the state, not the city. Yeah, I would expect 9 o'clock. Right, time to go. I would expect. Oh, I've lost my screen. Okay, no, we're good. Okay, I would expect the East Coast to be in bed. I'm in my 20s now. We're officially old men. I'm not disclosing my age then. I'm just not doing that. Wow. Quantum, yeah. How to make 1,000 stars video. Long Long time ago. Anyhow, let's get going. Okay. Now I'll try and bring the energy and bring the hype here, but like I said, I'm tired. Okay, so I guess I did do a little bit of off camera work in that I opened Blender up. You won't get to see me open Blender up, I suppose. So let's go for it now. I should set some boundaries here, right? This speed run. And let me state this for anyone who's just arrived. We're building a hand drawn, or we're drawing a map by hand. Using only Blender, predominantly Blender, and doing it in under 2 hours to demonstrate this can be done fairly quickly and efficiently. I am not going to go for the height of realism here. Like, we're not doing plate tectonic simulations, obviously. I'm just trying to eyeball it and try and give it the feel of a lived in geological world, so to speak, without going through the rigor of doing that, because we don't have the time to do it. So this is just like quick and dirty, like sort of like I got a D&D game coming up and I just need to get something down real fast, that sort of thing. Okay, right. With that done, and I'll draw for a little bit, and then I'll hop back into chat and see if there's anything fun happening, and then draw for a bit, etc. Because if I get too distracted with chat, I'll never get this done. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just working away, and then I'll check in. I hope you all enjoy. All right, let's do this. So this is your standard Blender view. I'm going to hit X on the keyboard, and we're going to delete the square because I don't know if anyone's realized planets, not squares. So then we're going to hit Shift A to add stuff, and we're going to go down to Mesh, and we're going to go down to UV Sphere. All right, very delightful. Now, making sure not to click anywhere else, lest this tiny little window down here be lost. We click on that, and we're going to say that it has 128 segments and 64 rings, and I'm going to make it 10 meters big for no other reason than that's just quite large in my viewport. I don't know what numbers one can put in there that are better. Then I'm going to right click on the sphere, and I'm going to say shade smooth. Okay, great. Look at that. One planet. Time to go home. Everyone, I can go back to bed. Woohoo. So now, next thing we want to do, is go to material over here. And we are going to go to new. We're going to give it a second. My computer is going to beach ball for a little bit. It does this every single time. Deeply frustrating. And we're going to go where it says principal BSDF shader. We're going to change that to emissions, and then we're going to hit the little yellow thing beside color, and we are going to go to image texture. Now, before we do anything, we're going to upload our base color, which is going to be our ocean color. So I'm going to create that ocean color. I could do this in Blender, but I find it nearly easier to do it in Illustrator, and also because we're going to need Illustrator for in a second. So we'll say a width of 5,000 pixels. 5,000 pixels. Would you put in 5,000 pixels? Thank you. 5,000 pixels and an old height. Oh my God, nothing's working today. And an old height of 2,005. It just won't accept my numbers. Why are you not putting in the numbers? I want 5,000. Oh my God, what's happening now? Is that 5,000? It's all going wrong already. Okay, hold on. Is it 5,000? Let me just draw. Great start. I feel like a marathon runner here. You start off kind of slow and speed up towards the end. Everything goes wrong at the start. Yes, that's 5,000 by 2,500. Just make sure that the canvas you have doesn't really matter about the size. It just needs to be a 2-to-1 aspect ratio. So I'm going to get rid of the stroke. The stroke is no good to us. And then I'm going to give this a nice ocean color. These are colors that I've lifted from Google Maps, or maybe the Wikipedia standard set of colors. I cannot remember. And the ocean color is A1, D2, F7. That's an ocean color right there. How delightful. Command Option E, and then we're going to export this. I'll call this ocean, and then I'm going to dump that in Blender Speedrun. I made a little folder here. Choose Export Artboard. How delightful. We'll pop back to Blender, and now we can click on nope. We can click on open. So we're going to open an image texture. So World Building Festival Blender Speedrun. And we're going to open that ocean texture and open image. Right, now nothing's happened, but you just go up to the top here and you click this bio, and oh my God, we have a blue surface. How delightful. One ocean world complete. Time to go to bed. So that's all fine and gravy. Now let's pop over to texture pick. paint over here, and let's just do a bit of zoomy. So at the risk of wasting time explaining things, do I do this now? No, I don't. I'll do this other thing first. So I'm just going to, go to the bottom until you see a plus icon, then click and drag upwards to create new kind of workspaces. These two will leave the same. In fact, I'm going to make this a wee bit bigger. Something like that. I need this for drawing reasons. So forgive me if this is very, very small. Not much I can do about that. Were this an actual video properly, I would zoom in to help you all out here. So where is it? We have to go to shader editor here. And then hit N to get rid of that menu. And we can close these things down. So essentially what we're going to do now is, for anyone who's seen my previous videos on this, we're going to build kind of layers, kind of like you would in Photoshop, except we have to like manually wire them together like we're doing some sort of Arduino work over here. Okay, so ocean layer. Now, forgive me. So Shift A, and we're going to go search, and we're going to go to another image texture. All right. Don't worry, if it goes pink, don't worry about it. It's fine. Pink's a beautiful color anyways. So we are going to, once we got this image texture, we're going to hit new this time, right? We're going to make a blank layer that we can paint on. So I'm going to call this shelf. This is going to be my continental shelf layer. I'm going to make it the same dimensions, 5,000 by 2,500. Alpha has to be on, and we have to make sure that we click on the color thing. We make sure that the alpha is at 0, right? So it's transparent, right? So we can draw on it. So we'll do this boyo here. Very good. And then I'm going to go Shift A, and I'm going to search for mix color, right? And this is essentially telling the computer to combine these two layers together to show and display both. You can close this down. I always put this below the next one down in the chain, so to speak. And then the algorithm here is top yellow goes into top yellow, bottom yellow goes into bottom yellow, crisscross applesauce with the gray ones, and then top into top. So top, bottom, gray, rinse and repeat. That should not be purple. That should not be pink now. Oh crap, why is it pink? Oh, I never made a new one. Sorry, I never hit the thing. Sorry. Shelf. Oh my god, panic. Ah! 2,500. Alpha. Yeah, I did this. I totally did all this. Did I just not hit new image? Okay, now I don't have a globe. Very good. Okay, there's my globe. Okay, right. Sorry, panic. I just didn't commit to the changes. Okay, right. Now, you don't have to do this, but I literally found this out in preparing for this video. A kind viewer sent me an email I did not see until this very moment. So if I click on my shelf layer here, and I'm going to go over to the left, I'm going to go to Fallout here. And I'm just going to change this to constant. That just means I have a sharp brush with no feathering on the edges. And I'm also going to take away pen pressure here. So everything's just at 100% opacity. Right, I'm looking straight down on the pole of the planet here, just to demonstrate that. You see that there's the pole. All right. If I draw a big old dot here, right, make a big old dot here, looks great on the 3D viewport. But if we pop over to what the 2D map is going to look like, I'm sure everyone who's tried Blender has experienced this. You have all these bloody triangles, and you can't color them in, right? So like if I zoom in here and try, you can color them in. What in the name of Christ? That's never worked before. I can color them in? Stop. That means I don't need to do the thing. What? That's great. That's going to save me so much time. That's not real, is it? Wow, that's awesome. Okay, at the end, if anyone's interested in knowing the fix here, you can let me know in chat, and I can show you how to mess with the geometry of the sphere to get rid of those triangles. But that is delightfully awesome. Okay, let me just get rid of all that because I don't actually need that. That's class. That's going to save me like 10 minutes. Wow. Speedrun world record incoming. There we go. Just going to get rid of that. Okay, right. Grand. So we can continue on with our we can continue. Oh my god, what are you doing? Okay, we can continue on with our layers. So we have an ocean layer, and then we have a continental shelf layer. The next layer up I'm going to need is a land layer. So Shift A again, and we add in image texture, And this is very much rinse and repeat. And so this is going to be land layer. All of your settings should be maintained from the previous image texture. So we just go new image, make it a land layer. Very good. I'm going to do that again. Search image texture. Above the land, we'll make some mountains. Some very bad looking mountains, but mountains nonetheless. Serviceable mountains, I think is the word for it. Mountains. And then we'll add in another. Don't do that. Did I? Yes, okay. And then we'll add in another one. Above the mountains, we'll say we'll want some rivers. Maybe if we get time, we'll put in some rivers. And again, oh no, I have to search image texture. I don't think there is a plugin called Rivers in, or a module called Rivers in Blender, Edgar. God damn it. This is what happens when you stream at 9:10 in the morning. Why did I agree to this? Why did I do this? No, I joke. That's rivers. Okay. And then above the rivers, we should have graticules, right? It's just important for gauging where the planet is, sort of thing. I mean, none of this is really important. Now, doing graticules in Blender, I guess you could do it, but it's a bit of a nightmare. So we're going to pop into old trusty Illustrator. You can do it in GIMP too. It's just graticules are a fairly matsy thing. So Illustrator's handy for that. Let me turn off transparency grid. There we go. And blow out everyone's eyeballs with this white. Apologies for that. Okay, get rid of that thing there. So I'm going to draw a line, snap to the edge of the canvas. Very small line. That's too small. I'm going to make it black. Very good. And then I'm going to give it a stroke of maybe 2 pixels. Yes, that looks nice. Nice and thin. And then I'm going to option click and drag to make a copy and snap it to the other side. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight those 2 lines. It's very hard for you all to see. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. Mooks. My eyes. I'm very sorry. I'm sure there's a dark mode somewhere. I just don't I just don't know where it lives. Okay, so we do that, and then we go to object, blend options. So we're going to just make the computer make, copies of the graticules for us without having to manually do it, which is great. So we're going to select specific steps. This is where a program like Illustrator is so handy because it's like maths based. So in Photoshop it's a little bit harder. Yeah, we could export a blank map from GProjector. I've been having GProjector problems orbiting past it on my Mac because Macs. So yeah, this is the kind of if you really don't have anything to go on, homebrew, cook it yourself. Okay, so the standard equirectangular map, a graticule spread is usually 12 by 6, so 12 spaces in between the graticules going lengthways and then 6 going vertically. So to do that, we just go 1 minus the number we want. So we want 11 copies of the line, and we go specific steps, and it will divide that evenly into 12 parts. Nothing happens. Don't worry about it. Go to object, blend, and make. And then there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Gravy. And then I'm going to go to Command C, Command F to paste it in place. And I'm just going to rotate it around. And then I'm just going to snap it to the top, just reduce this down, and then drag it out. So scale it up, right? That's too many copies. Ooh, hello. That's far too many copies. So I'm just going to click that one here, go to option, blend options, and we want 6 spaces. So 1 minus that is 5. And we go okay, and we should have, there's our equator, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. Now we can do a little bit of cleanup. Well, first of all, actually, I'm just going to select this guy, option, blend, expand. So it releases it from whatever the trappings of that function. Options, blend, expand. So these are all now actual layers. I'm going to hit A on the keyboard, and just to help myself here, I'm going to select, well, first of all, I'm going to get rid of the things at the poles because that's a point, right? So we don't need that there. Everything else we do need. I'm going to select the middle graticule, like the one that should be the equator. And just to help me orientate myself, I'm going to change the stroke color to red, right? And I'm going to do the same thing for the prime meridian, which is this boyo here. I'm just going to make this red. That just helps us make sure that our islands are kind of center of the viewport. Do you know what I mean? Or island continents. So that's fine. That's gravy. I don't think we need to do anything else here. Command Option E, and then this is going to be graticules. And we're going to make sure to save that in the correct folder. Yes, well done. Export artboard. Good. Let's pop on over to Blender. And then we'll go to Shift A. Eventually we will start drawing, but like I said, I'm going from scratch. What you can do is you can set all this crap up in a template version or template file, and then every time you go to make a new world, just open up the duplicate the template file, and all this is done for you. So you can kind of speed up the workflow. But this is it from the kind of first principles. Okay, and then for this image texture, we want to go open. So we want to grab our graticules and open those. Delightful. Okay, hopefully everything is correct. Here with the mix color, you can go Shift D to copy. I'm going to just dump that here. I'm going to unhook this for a second. Shift D, copy it, bring it down, and now we're going to mix these all together and send them to the output of Blender. So we do that guy, and then we do the same thing again. Top yellow to top yellow, bottom yellow to bottom yellow, crisscross applesauce with the gray, rinse and repeat. So top, bottom, so on and so forth. And oh my god, there's always a bit of trepidation with this part, because I'm like, did I wire things up correctly? And if I don't, it's very hard for me to bug fix, because I don't actually understand what's going on. Yes! Woo! We're here. Okay, so assuming we've done everything correctly, if I select, say, the shelf layer, and I go to paint on it, I should paint above the ocean and below the graticules. Nope. Nothing. Why nothing? Oh, damn. Oh, no. Wait a second. Hold on. Something's gone funny. What it? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, I'm on erase. Sorry, I'm on the eraser. Sorry, my bad. Okay, right. Here we go. Try again. That never happened. Take two. Hey, there we go. Right? Perfect. Okay. Now we can literally get drawing. Actually, the only thing I want to do, hold on, if I can just, let me just, this is not essential at all, but see the way there's a camera here? I don't know if you can see that. I'm just going to get rid of that because it's stuck in my planet, so I'm just going to hit X. We don't need it. Delete objects. Yeah, delete that. And then there's also, no, that's the sphere. Where's the other thing? There should be the light source. Where the hell is the light source gone? Is it inside the sphere? There should be a light somewhere. Again, not that it actually, why can't I, not that it actually matters, but okay. I guess there's no light source, which is quite frankly odd. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Texture paint. Oh, let's save. We should save because Blender crashes for me very often. Blender, okay, and we'll call this speedrun. Speedrun, and we go save Blender files. Come on. Thank you. And then the other thing about it is that once you save a Blender file, I don't know exactly what's going on, but it only saves the main file and not the collection of assets. So you need to do that. I don't know how to actually do that in a nice way. So I just quit Blender and it goes, oh, look, you've unmodified things. Would you like to save them? And then I go save. And then I boot open Blender again, which is, a bit caveman-like, but sure, look, I'm a caveman. And then we can just reopen. I assume it's that one. Modified today at 90. Yeah, there we go. And that should open up the bio. And we should be right as rain to go. 19 minutes. That was good timing. I was like, if I can get out of the setup stage in half an hour, we're good. Oh my god. That's probably because I didn't have to do the weird correction stuff. Okay, let me have a quick look at chat. I won't be able to read all the chat messages. Obviously, how many people are here now? 94! 94. Will you stop it? Calm down, lads. Always save. Yup. Northern Lights Radio. I ran many trial runs with the patrons just to make sure I wasn't doing something idiotic. And also, if I don't use the software regularly, let me go to tangent cam here. When I don't use the software regularly, I forget how to use it. And like even basic things, I'm just like, what did I do? And I have to watch my old videos. So I was like, I can't be doing this on air. So yeah. You can't paint because you aren't in the selected geometry. I believe I got there. Oh, this is the problem about reading chat from a while ago. It's like, wait, did I fix that? Didn't I? Did I not? Imagine get this far and this crashes. Several of the videos in their production cycle had, hours long Blender jobbies or G-Plates jobbies, and then they just crashed, and I just like nearly threw the computer out the window. 106 viewers, 99 viewers. Yeah, YouTube's reporting of viewers is all over the gaff. Everyone's going to get a different number. I don't know. Yeah, that's happened to me before. I have a fun patron only live stream thing, Quantum, where we were working on the topography for Cretak way back in the day, and the whole thing, it didn't crash. I fat fingered something and deleted everything, and the patrons got to see my soul leave my body, because in the moment I was like, no. And then when that happens, you've no compulsion to go do the thing you just did. The lag feels so strange, really. But sure, there's always an inbuilt lag in more so as a streamer, I think. I don't really know what you're referring to, but like there's always an inbuilt like 30-second lag to allow YouTube's bots or whatever to do their thing. The number keeps going up. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I say oh dear. It's just, it makes me nervous, but like it's a good thing that people are watching at 9:30 in the morning. What is this? Oh, dearie. Hello. How are you, my friend? Welcome. Okay, right. So now we got that set up. Oh, this is great. We might even be done in an hour, and then we can just hang out and chat. This is awesome. Famous last words as he like world builds or paints right up until the deadline. Okay, so here is the plan. I'm going to mark in like rough continental shelf areas. And then we're going to go on top of that with the land, right? So like think of it like the continental shelf doesn't have to be as like coastliney looking as coastlines, if you know what I mean. So we're kind of sketching using the continental shelf layer, and then comes the land, and then we'll do the mountains, and we'll just basically build up from there. Bish bash bosh, and then we're done, and then we can all go sleep. Okay, right. So I need a continental shelf color. So stealing from Wikipedia, or wherever I got this from, C6E6FF is like an off blue sort of color. Now, Blender does this really fun and annoying thing where if you select the color for your paintbrush up here, that's fine and dandy, but then if you go to say the fill bucket, it reverts it to a different color. Because of course it does, and it doesn't hold the color constant. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, even though I have no intention of using the fill bucket yet, I'm just going to stick that in here while I remember. So I can kind of bounce back and forward in a nice manner. Okay, right, now this is why we did some graticules, because we can see that this is the center of the map. So if we center our continents around here, they'll appear nicely centered in the 2D plane, which is kind of nice. So again, we're not going for like incredible realism here. We're just going to go for it. But what I think is the easiest to do is if we imagine like a supercontinent breakup phase. We imagine there was a supercontinent just smack bang centered on the equator and the prime meridian here. And maybe we'll say, maybe I should actually draw this instead of just, waving my mouse around. There's some sort of big old supercontinent happening around here, bigger than that obviously, right? And then look at the boy over there, it's so cute. And then we'll say one bit like broke off, there's like a rift that happens here, and this chunk goes up in that direction, and then maybe we have another chunk. I'm thinking, despite how I've drawn here, maybe it goes in this direction, and then maybe at a later date we have another chunk happening here that goes in like that kind of direction, right? Just simple, really simple plate tectonics sort of thing, just to get us somewhere. I think that's my plan. And also, I think another thing that it would be worth doing, the fact that we're painting in 3D, we should make use of it. Like, there's no point painting in 3D and avoiding the polar regions with your land masses, because like then just paint on a flat surface. So I think for sure what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that one of my continents is like, you know, is up here. So like there's some sort of, yeah, that's the edge of a continental shelf, just so we can make use of all this 3D stuff there, right? So I'm just going to sketch, basically. That's it, and we'll see how we go. Oh, and I'm kind of thinking to myself about if this continent, which is going to be somewhere here, is going this direction, there's going to be a subduction zone running along here, and we would tend to have a very smooth, straight shelf there. So I'm kind of mimicking that with a little straight thing here. And then maybe what we'll do is I'll just dip down. Oh, in fact, yeah, that's what I'm going to dip down here, right? Because I'm thinking maybe this is a small hunk of land, and maybe this hunk of land, and I'm going to keep dipping. No, I'm going to keep dipping here, maybe. Yeah, and maybe this like hunk of land here smashed onto a bigger continent way back in the day gives us an excuse for some old mountains. So I think I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to do something like some big old continent. I'm being very, very loose with this. Like extremely loose with this. Something like that. And we'll just bring you around like that. So we don't need to be too detailed here at all. Well, one, it's a speed run. So I'm not interested in being too detailed. We'll just do something like this, maybe. Yeah, just something like that. And maybe just to add, because that's just a blob, maybe to add a little bit of interest, we could have a secondary thing just coming through there. A little peninsula type jazz. God, Edgar in the morning sounds like he smokes 20 cigarettes. I'm like, yeah, that looks gravy. Okay, right, now, that's one continent, right? I don't care about the size. The size is probably all wrong, but here we are. Now, remember, continental shelves, not coastlines, should look kind of like each other to give the sense of, you know, commonality, like these things came from a common place. So if I take this wavy looking coastline here and I mimic it down below in a way, so we'll say maybe something like, and we'll put a good bit of distance here to indicate that these have separated ages ago. So if I do just trying to loosely copy that sort of shape, and then maybe down like this, yeah, something like that. And then we'll say, now if this is going in this kind of direction, I would want a smooth rear end to this boyo here, I think. So I don't want to do something too crazy. I might do something like this. Oh, that actually, this could be interesting, I think. Oh, that could be kind of interesting. Oh, maybe that's nice. Is that nice? Maybe not. Hold on. I have an idea. If I come out here and do something like this, I'm kind of priming it to look a certain way. Just come down like this, keep it a bit smooth, and then up, make sure close up all the gaps. That's like so staggeringly important to close up all the gaps, because we're going to do like old school paint.net sort of nonsense here, where we're going to fill in with a bucket, and if there's gaps in the line work, the bucket won't work. So that's the second continent. You can see what's going on up here. I'll fill these in a second. The next thing I'm thinking is that there's been a rift here, right? There used to be some hunk of land out here. And it's fairly recent. So I'm inclined to maybe think like, and again, I'm just trying to copy roughly the shape of the land, right? So it looks like they kind of fit together. And then I might, just for the sake of it, I might extend you down the way a little bit. And then, yeah, we'll just send you up like so, I think. And then, let me think. I want to try and make this somewhat interesting, this bit here. Possibly give myself too much work to do. So I'm going to say, I'm going to make a dip, I think. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to make a big old kind of bay region. Something like that, maybe. And then maybe do the same thing up here. All right, I mean, this is a bit artificial, and again, I'm kind of cooking the books a little bit, but yeah. All right, there we go. Save, and then thank you. Save all the things. Blender, Blender. Okay, right. How are we doing? Half an hour. Oh, this is great. This is so much more chill than the last time. Very much enjoying this. Oh, and I should also say, I see vertex colors. I see people looking like okay, sorry. I thought I saw someone commenting on the workflow. I should have said at the start that I do not claim that this is the optimal workflow. That I'm doing things in an optimal way. I'm just doing things in the way I've come to learn how to do these things. If you have more optimal workflows, please do share them in chat so we can all learn. Okay, now I'm going to select my paint bucket tool, and I found I've had the best results here if I try and paint in this region and not in this region. So simply, if I've done everything correctly, I should just be able to fill up the lines, boop, with color, which is absolutely delightful. That's a very small continent, but sure, look, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not going for... That's also a very small sea, but that's fine. It's fine. It's grand. It's grand. Ooh, I have an idea. Sorry. Back up. Maybe let's put in an old Iceland analog for the lols. So somewhere in the middle, imagining a mid-ocean ridge, let's imagine there's some sort of Iceland analog thing happening there. How delightful. Okay, and then the other thing I want to do is, let's imagine that there is some sort of Hawaii. What's Hawaii? Hawaii must be, well, it has to be somewhere between 0 and 30, right? Or is it higher up? I can't remember. Let's make a more tropical Hawaii, right? Just put it on the other side of the planet. So that is this chap here. Yeah, this is the line of longitude antipodal to the prime meridian. So let's have it span across that, so we can kind of make use of the fact that we're, doing it in 3D and we can wrap around very conveniently. So I'm going to say maybe just above the equator, I'm going to put in a bit of a Hawaii. So I'm going to make now again, scale issues here. The scale is almost certainly going to be all wrong for hotspots and the like, but that's fine. So I'm just going to do something like this, and then make this nice and small. And then watch to indicate. Again, I don't know if this makes any sense. Let me go a little bit further. Actually, let me do like this. I don't know if this makes any sense at all, but to indicate that there's plate movement, and plates can just like turn at a 90 sometimes. So let's just say there was a turn at a 90, and the actual trail is running. And because we get to go back across the canvas, then is running up this way, and it's just very small like that. All right, just a little bit of detail there. I could go in and detail mid-ocean ridges and the whole shebang. I almost certainly don't have time for this, nor do I have the compulsion. So that's the main driving force. Is there anything else I need to do? In the shells? Well, there is a thing I need to do, but that comes after drawing in the land. So I think we're actually gravy there. That's all my bulk work done there. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my land layer, and then I'm going to be on my brush tool, and then I'm going to select this color here. I'm going to select my hex color, and I'm going to put in a border value. So because we're going to draw some coastline borders. 0978A B. That looks like it's not correct. 0978AB. Oh, it is correct. There we go. Some sort of dark blue color. How delightful. Now, fun thing about yay, Emperor Seamounts analog. Hells yeah. All right. So what was I going to say? Oh yeah, fun thing about Blender that I hate and have never found how to turn off. Right, so I have currently a 1 pixel brush, right? 1 pixel up here. And then I'm going to draw, I'll draw a little shape here. There we go. That's for you guys for watching. Thanks for watching. Now, in every other drawing software or art software I have ever used, if you scale the canvas, the brush remains the same, right? So if I pop out to here, right, we would expect with my 1 pixel brush to draw at 1 pixel, right? It should, if I draw another heart, it should look the same as this heart. But just to really drive it home, we scale way out, and I'll draw a heart over here. There we go. Same 1 pixel brush, but it's giant. So the size of the brush scales with the window, which is just catastrophically annoying for my purposes, because it just means that you can't, it's just very hard to get consistency, right? So my workaround for this is to hit Shift C, right? And what that does is it zooms the planet back into a default zoom state. So then the idea is that we come along, we draw a bunch of coastlines like that. How delightful. And then we might zoom out, look around, zoom out. And instead of having to kind of guess, like, well, where the hell is this correct zoom level to match up with that, we hit Shift C, and then we can come in here and we can draw the thing, and we have relatively the same lines. It's not perfect, because it never will be perfect because of nature 3D. So, like, for example, I can't believe I'm explaining these things. I shouldn't even waste time doing this because it's a speed run, but here we are. If I start down here near the equator, like, great. And then if I continue on up here, you'll note that this occurs, right? Distortions occur because obviously, like, the sphere is tapering away from you. So it's a bit like incoming sunlight, right? Like directly at the equator or directly where you're looking, the brush is kind of coming in at a direct angle onto the surface, so you get like a pinpoint, right? But then as you go more up the globe, the brush is coming in at a greater angle, so you get a kind of like, yeah, an increased brush size. So it's never going to be perfect. Whoa, what did I just do there? Oh dear. So it's never going to be perfect. And also, it's also another reason why it's never going to be perfect is because of distortion. Oh my god, I forgot a thing. I need to go back and do a thing before I forget. Never mind, it's done. Why is it that this worked now? And it's not like I've updated Blender. I'm very confused. Okay, so that's all the caveats with regards to line work in Blender. There's not much we can do about it, but here we go. All right, let's start with a very easy line. Okay, no, Shift C, Edgar, constant zoom. Here we go, Iceland, right? And also, please don't expect these coastlines to look pretty and beautiful because it's just rough and ready. There's one Iceland, our little mid-Atlantic peanut. How delightful. Okay, so that's that. Now, next thing I want to do, next most important thing is I want to look at where the subduction zone would be and build out volcanic arcs and then modify the shelf to compensate, right? So if I come in here, I know along here, right, it's a subduction zone because this one is going this way. The coastline is going to be pretty straight, right? Like not too many nooks and crannies. And then this subduction zone will probably keep going, right? So I'm thinking that what I'll do is I'll build out a little nubbin here for the land, something like that, and then make a little island chain. Oh, I've messed that up. That looks horrible. We'll make a little island chain like so. Maybe I am drawing these like quite large purely because I want to be able to fill most of them with color. So I kind of have to do that. Something like that, right? Just again, it doesn't actually really matter. Because I'm not going for extreme realism. And then, okay, but here, we have a mid-ocean ridge. I'm assuming mid-ocean ridge is going to come to here, so I can run islands into the mid-ocean ridge. So if I come through here, I'll do the same thing. I'll make a little nubbin, and then maybe only do like one little island, and then we're at the mid-ocean ridge. Cool. So that's that subduction zone done. Next thing I want to do is I want to imagine glaciation, right? So if we imagined that, so general rule of thumb here is that you don't want to go, when you're thinking about where your last ice ages were, you don't want to go below about 45 degrees. If you go in terms of like how far poleward the ice extends, if you go more than that, you'll almost certainly trigger some sort of snowball Earth, which is just probably not the best crack. So anywhere above this is fine. I'm inclined to say maybe we'll just go down to 60 degrees here. We'll say that the ice just crept into 60 degrees purely because I'm thinking, what happens if there was some sort of old mountain range, say maybe here, right? And then as the ice receded, it kind of scraped the valleys down, and we're left with just the peak. So we'll go for a sort of Canada vibe here. So I'm just going to make, so in fact, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue, constant zoom, Edgar. I'm going to continue this line down, right? We'll just do this. And then instead of following this thing here, I'm going to maybe, I like these shapes. I'm going to keep close to this. Hold on. So if I come in here, I very much enjoy these shapes. And then here, I'm just going to like, meet up with that, right? And then this we can just fill up with a whole bunch of islands, right? Just to kind of simulate Canada. Now I could spend a lot of time, you know, thinking about the exact morphology of these islands, but I am absolutely not going to do that here. So I'm just going to truck in random islands and be done with it. And we should be okay. And if anyone shouts at me, I'll be very sad. No, I joke. It's grand. It's a speed run. And again, I'm going quite large just because I want to be able to fill these things in. And I have limited zoom range, right? Like I can't zoom in and get all the tight details. Those two islands look identical. I'm not letting that fly. Not in a month of Sundays. Okay. Glaciation. Done. And we'll just say it occurs on the west. Would mimic a sort of Europe sort of vibe, we'll say. And not on the east, just to save a bit of time, because all of this like detail work takes time. Okay, that's fine for that. Let me just skip on over to this continent here, and we'll keep doing this subduction zone stuff, because that's a good way of kind of starting. So I'm going to, whoops, not do that. I'm going to run. Okay, again, I'm going to say that there's a nubbin. I do have a tendency to overuse these like volcanic arc nubbin things because they look cool. So I'll probably use this on all of them. Just note that that's probably not the best idea. So we'll do something like that. And then again, I'm thinking to myself, mid-ocean ridge comes here. So maybe it just stops there. That's it. There's no extended chain. But here, what I'm thinking is I hate this. I need to straighten that out. I really hate that little lump. That is no good. So we'll modify the shelf in a second. I'm going to do something like that, I think. And then, oops, come on. Oops, no. Thank you. We'll come in here and maybe do something like that. And then we can fill it up with a little kind of barrier island. So having a kind of irregular shape, because again, along the subduction zone, you will have a sort of straight line, right? Oh no. I know the nubbin temptation. I saw pasta and I was like, because pasta's like the geology guy, and I was like, oh no, pasta, don't tell me it's entirely wrong. But yeah, the nubbin temptation is serious. Yeah, it definitely is. But anyway, having an irregular shaped coastline on a subduction zone is really fun, right? Because the subduction zone is necessarily going to force things to be really straight. See, like South America, and then you get this nice opportunity to have these kind of like barrier islands, which is kind of fun. So that's why I purposefully just made like these cuts into the surface, which I think is just really nice. Now, I didn't draw them with the greatest of care, because we have this sort of weird inverted arc shape going on here, but it's fine. It's just a speed run. I cannot let perfect be the enemy good here. Let's make a big nubbin. Whoa, look at that big nubbin. And then we'll just, run this in here. Something like that. And then we'll do a shorter nubbin here, I think, just for the crack, so I can run more islands. So these have to kind of sort of meet up, and I hate the way they look now, but that's fine. It's fine. It's just a speed run. It's just a speed run. There we go. Nubbin land. Okay. And then same thing over here. Oh wait, constant zoom, Shift C. We're fine. Let's make a big nubbin, like a big nubbin. You see again, like the nubbins just look so cool. Again, kind of thinking like there's a mid-ocean ridge here. Let's say that's running down here. So we'll say maybe we'll stop the islands roughly here, ish. And So we'll just run this in. And also a little fun thing you can do is kind of give your subduction zones a bit of a arc shape to them. It just looks a little bit more natural. Think like the Aleutian Islands, right? This is this beautiful like sweeping arc sort of thing. And there's a physics reason for it too. Get yourself a ping. Oh, I left pasta on screen. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, pasta. Get yourself a ping pong ball. Right? And then press hard on it, right? Like put pressure, like indent the thing. And you'll notice that the indent is going to form these concave sort of like rings and stuff like that. That is not directly analogous to what the Earth is doing, but think of the same thing as like pressure on a spherical surface, and you get those like arcs on Earth with like the Aleutian Islands, and then you get a lot on Europa or Io, I think. So no, it is Europa. Yeah, it's Europa. So those kind of like curvy sort of bits are kind of very natural to have. So you don't want to just have too many just like straight lines. Like, shock horror, don't have perfectly straight lines on a natural world. Like, great commentary. Just like really, you're really teaching the masses something very important that they obviously would not have understood. Like, that's a joke, by the way. Of course you'd understand it. Desktop. Boop. Okay, right, let's go. Now, so this is the most time-consuming part of the whole process. Once we got this done, we are sailing, plain sailing. Oh, I did the same thing here. I made a little indent. This I absolutely hate. This is going to be changed. Okay, so you're going to continue on over here. That's fine. And then let's not make the nubbin here, right? Because I kind of like the idea of this very angular sort of thing here. So let's do a sort of like, kind of like the look of that. That's kind of fun, right? And maybe we'll do the nubbin on the other side. So we'll come through here, and then yeah, we'll make a sort of nubbin out this way, keeping it straight, Edgar. Thank you. And then we'll run an island or two like along here, and they don't join up there. Like, that's a nice bit of contrast, I think. And then Shift C, constant zoom. And then again, I'm not being too picky about how close I'm getting to the continental shelf because I don't have time. I'm just going to do nice straight lines. And then and there we go. Running down through here. Oh, we could extend this out further, I think. So Shift C. Just to really give myself a lot of work in terms of filling in these little tiny shapes, because, you know, we learned from the music stream. I'm not a man to make things easy for myself. There we go. Okay. And then the rest of this will fire through it. So if I come in at an hour for this, we're good. Right. Here we go. I'm paying very little attention to anything. I'm trying to do the thing where you don't make all the coastlines completely higgledy-piggledy, because that's not how coastlines work. As the internet pointed out to me many, many moons ago, people were very angry that my coastlines were very higgledy-piggledy all the time. Some straight sections are not a problem. So here we go. To here, let's make some sort of bays and stuff, and then that's fine. There we go. Okay, delightful. Not the nicest island that's ever been created, but that's fine. It's fine. I must plow on. Okay. Now here. Yeah, okay. I'll explain that in a second. I'm just thinking ahead a little bit. Let's come in here. And so along passive margins, right, we have the option, if we so desire, to peel things back from the continental shelf. You don't have that along active margins. So like we could totally just come in here and like put a big old bay there, and that's totally fine, totally acceptable. I've forgotten the thing I just noted to myself. Yes, here. So here I want to hug this close for reasons that we'll find out in a bit. And yeah, something like that. This will never win any awards, but sure, look, it's grand. There we go. Great. One, and I just need to be really careful closing up these shapes because otherwise it's an absolute disaster. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back to, so that's that one done. That's that one done. That one done. Yeah, great. Okay, cool. Let's go back to this chap here. I'm going to just have a quick sip of coffee. Let me see what chat's doing. Yeah, there's too many. I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. Kahel na Pagong. There are too many nubbins for sure. But again, I'm not going for ultimate realism here. So, I'm assuming my smart account too. That's in relation to someone asking questions. Thank you for filling in newcomers. Thank you. Yeah, cool. Okay, good. All right. So, we'll keep plowing forward. Like I said, this is the most labor intensive part, the coastlines, and then everything just goes a lot quicker from there. Okay, here I kind of like the idea. I know when I drew this earlier, I made it look like it kind of is a collision. I kind of don't like that. I like the idea of there's some sort of coastline that runs along this way, and then I want to do something. Let me think. I want to do something where it's like a weird angle, right? Like maybe. No, I hate it. Okay, I do not have time to get all aesthetics about this. Something like that, like a strange rectangular sort of thing. I kind of like the idea. And then if I had the what's the word? The inclination, I would come in here and be like, oh, island. Actually, yeah, let's just, there you go. There's a small island that we don't have to color in. I would fill this up a little bit. So I kind of like that shape. It looks a bit Saudi Arabia-y, which is fun. Okay, and yeah, so here again, I'm going to keep this. That is too close. Keep this nice and smooth here, like that, and yeah, basically just so on and so forth. I don't know if anyone has mentioned this, but fjords, right? People love themselves some fjords. I'm just assuming that there's fjords happening up in here. I'm not marking them in, obviously, because even that, like, if I do something like this, like this is way too big for actual fjords. Like they'd be a lot finer. That's a distinction that this brush size, this minimum brush size, just isn't useful for. So we're not going to do that. Sorry, fjord gang. They are there. They are there. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, fine. We're all good. We are all good. Delightful. Okay. All right. I think that's everything, yeah? Okay. Well, everything with the land, right? So, oh, lordy. Here we go. This bit worries me something serious. So, paint bucket. Let's save. And Q, save 2 modified images, correct. Blender. Oh, yes. Jocks. Yes. Who is the chap in your profiler? For context, how thick is... Oh, that's... Sorry, that is actually a good question. Prof. Walden. For context, how thick is the line? 5-10 kilometers. That's unknowable, I guess, because it scales. Like, we don't know the size of the planet. The planet could be any size. This could be a super Earth. It could be a tiny little thing. Yeah, that's unknowable. Or at least for the purpose of this speedrun, it's unknowable. It's 2 a.m. Do I watch or do I go to sleep? Listen, I'm not one. In fact, I kind of hate plugging my own wires. So I would say just go to sleep, man. Sleep is so much better than my content. Like, let's be real. Like, you can literally like have it. Oh, okay. That I filled everything in with a paint bucket. Undo. Right, we're gravy. Anyway, Anyhow, so let us now fill in some land color. So I want to be in my paint bucket. I want to double click this color, go to the hex value, and then stealing from Google, Wikipedia, whatever, land color ACD. No, lol. 0A5, right? There's a land color. Fantastic. Now comes the moment of truth. Oh boy. Have I closed all my lines up? Boop. Yeah. Woo. All right. Boop. Hey, delightful. In fact, actually, I'm going to show you, like, sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. You could click on the globe. Boop. But sometimes it has tendency to color in the whole map. Why? I don't know. Probably due to if it crosses the pole, some of the weird texture mapping. Like, for example, if I click on this, I think we shouldn't have a problem. Oh no, that paints the whole globe as well. So you should need to do this in the 2D thing here. So look, no problem there. Fill in you. Oh, this is delightful. This is going really smooth. Okay, boop, 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 boop. There we go. Boop. Oh, look at this. Look at us go. And we just spent about 15 minutes now coloring in stuff. We got a little island up here. The addition of islands really kind of like obviously sells the planet, sells the sort of realistic look, but adds so much time onto the workflow, obviously, because they're tiny little nubbins of things. Whoop. Boop. Boop. This is great commentary. Just boop. I mean, I don't really know what to say other than I am just doing boops. Like, like there's not much to this. Oh, I forgot a thing. Yeah, I forgot a thing. I forgot a bit of an island arc there. We should come back to that. Or we could just leave it for the sake of speedrun. Where's Hawaii gone? What? Why no Hawaii? Oh, yeah, because I never made Hawaii. Okay, so we forgot two things. All right, not to worry. Back to the brush. Boop. Okay, Shift C. Let's have a go at Hawaii. This is way too big. These islands are likely way too big, but oh, this is so awkward to try and paint inside the lines. Oh dear. Okay, you're just going to go blue. That's fine. And then we get a boop, and a boop, and a boop. There we go. Right, fantastic. And so then I should be able to go to there. Very good. Switch to my fill tool. Zoom in. Hello, Hawaii. All right, that's us done there. And then the other thing I wanted to do, go back to my brush tool, is I wanted to just create some more islands up here. So why does that look so wrong? Shift C. That's why. Inconsistent zoom. There we go. That's too bendy. Come on, Edgar. Now let's not get carried away with ourselves. Sure. Yeah, that's grand. And then we have the boops. Okay. All right, there we go. That's good. Okay. We'll save that up. Blender. Blend. I can't type. Oh my god, it's too early in the morning to be typing. Oy. Did I create the contents in this stream as well? Yep, everything's created in the stream. Oh, Turtle Loop. I have an issue with Gplates. It does not want to download for some reason. I have a Windows laptop and any apps I can use instead. No. There's no there's no alternative to Gplates, unfortunately. Someday someone will make Gplates for world building pasta. World building pasta. No pressure, buddy. Madeline James, everyone, can I get some, as is customary with the last stream I caught, can I get some W's in the chat if we don't mind, for Madeline, for organizing this entire event? Like, I cannot even begin to fathom the Herculean task it was to to work this all out. But she did, and she's great. One of the greats. Here we go. Let's go. I'm going to start it off. I'm going to get a W in chat. W's in chat for Madeline. There we go. Love it, lads. Thank you. Oh, it's great. Madeline, you are great. Like, I would not be able to do what you did there. I just be like, someone else please organize this thing. Yeah, great stuff. Okay. All right, let's go. We're back in Blender. Right. Okay, here we go. So now, again, I just for the sake of like, it'll drive me nuts if I don't do this. Oh, fun pro Blender tip. Right. So I want to make some more continental shelves. So you think, right, you click on the color thing and you go to the eyedropper tool and then you'd pick the color you want from there and you'd eyedrop it and it looks kind of okay. But then when you go to paint on things, you'll note that, assuming I'm on the right layer, you'll note that it's a whole, well, that didn't work. Sorry, let me do that again. Eyedropper. I eyedroppered the paint bucket, not the brush. And then I go to paint on it, it's a different color, right? I think it's because it's picking up some of the lighting colors or something. So if you want to eyedrop stuff, eyedrop from here. So again, we can just go bingo, bango, bango, eyedrop, and then if we do the thing, it's the same color, right? Just a little pro tip. That took me a catastrophically long amount of time to figure out. Okay, I'm just going to tidy up the shelf and then we are good to go. I mean, we're going already. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's actually tie this together with shelf nubbin. Look at that. Shelf nubbin. And here I don't care too much about the zoom because I'm just like trying to just get around the islands. I don't need a consistent line weight, so that's fine. I'm just going to dirty this up. There we go. It's so ugly. The perfectionist to me is like, stop. No, take your time. Like, take care. You can't just be rushing this. So I just need to power through. Oh, Lord. All right. So that's sure. All right. Oh, delightful. There we go. Fill it in. Wonderful. Let's fill you in. Hey, there we go. Okay. And then continue up here. Let's increase this brush size because we really don't need to be that precise. Delightful. Sure. Oh God, it's so rough. Oh, it hurts. It hurts my soul. It really hurts my soul, lads. Let's do a boop there. I'm not sure if these islands are meeting up in a correct place at all, but here we are. So that's that continent done, all checked out. So then we'll pop on over to here. So we'll do a boop, boop. Yeah, sure, just a perfectly circular C-mount there. That's fine. There we go. Okay, right. I have to remember to talk. That would be kind of important, on a video, where you can't see my face. So yeah. In fact, I could just bring. No, in fact, I'm not going to put up my face because I hate the way I look on these streams because the lights. I've complained about this to the patrons long and hard. The lights make my eyes go kind of, what's the word? Silvery, I guess, and they're very piercing and a bit horrible looking. And I really hate the way I look. So if I can stream without showing my face, happy days. And it was fun, right? Because again, I've shared this with the patrons, but I may as well share it with you guys while we're here, just to talk about something while we do all this malark. I was complaining about it to my wife. And anyway, as you know, your significant other will always say, be like, no, stop it. You look perfect, right? There's nothing wrong with you at all. Like, they'll never just be all like, yes, you are overweight. And, that sort of thing. Or, yes, your eyes do look disgusting. So the captain, my significant other, was like, yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with your eyes. Your eyes are great. And I was like, listen, just watch the stream. And then I pulled up the stream for her. And then the moment I came on air, she went like, she literally recoiled. She was like, ugh, because it's not like, I don't look like this. My eyes do not look like this. They're really, and when I'm concentrating, it's like, they look like gray, like I'm a bloody serial killer, like murdering someone. Like, just, I hate it so much. So it's yeah, when your significant other can't help but go, yeah, no, that doesn't look great. I think that's good in evidence to indicate that in fact does not look great. Maybe I can pull a Casey Neistat and just wear sunglasses all the time. That would be great, but I feel like I would look like a bit of a plonker, unfortunately. One day my eyesight will go, and I'll just the excuse will be polarized glasses, to hide my just piercing eyes in this light, or maybe get better lights. Sorry, is this good? I don't even know if this is good commentary. I all I'm doing is painting in white stuff. I mean, like, I don't know what to talk about. Anyhow, speaking of painting in white stuff, I believe we have painted in all the white stuff, right? I think we're done. We're done with the land, right? This is such a good time. I could go down and make another coffee. Oh, what's this? What is this? Afterwards, about how fun it was, and Ross Asheville said next time it should be a full festival. So I was like, sold. What does full festival mean? Because my thoughts are on this, that the next time it should be an in-person event. One I do not want to set up. No, I remember that was fun. That was really fun. I looked gross in that one too because my camera failed, so I had to look into the computer. So all you could see was for like hours with my big manky eyes. Jake, Madeline could always tap up David and Jesse for advice on this. The groundwork has been laid. I don't know if this is what people are actually talking about, but yeah, like conlangers love themselves in person conferences and events, and there's nothing like that, I don't think, for like world building sort of thing. It needs to happen. And then we can, we could start off in a sensible continent like Europe, and then move to the sillier continents like the States. I love y'all. That is a joke. Please don't unsubscribe. But we could make it a revolving circus clown show, I suppose. It just travels around the world. Like, it's totally doable. Like, and I think it's doable even without mad numbers. We don't need to have like hundreds and hundreds of people attending. Madeline, I promise I'll get world building again in a second, but I do have some experience event planning, not at that level, but some could talk to Dave and Jesse. I mean, if you're up for it, I think that's a boss idea. Like, I really think that's a boss idea, because we don't have anything like that in the world building space. So I'm just gonna plant that seed. Boop. I agree. I to be honest with you, I would JG online. I would say more Europe-based events are a good idea. Like, obviously you might be like, well, you're biased, you live in Europe, right? But it pushing back a little bit to the sort of the default is always the States, right? Like, there are people in Europe as well, so it would be really nice for like an inaugural world building festival to occur in Europe, because smaller audience, most people here are American, right? Or live in the States or Canada, like that neck of the world, right? So you could do a kind of trial run in Europe with a I'm assuming smaller crowd, and then iron out the kinks there, and then bring the larger crowd to the States, right? Like that is what I would do. If we can go to somewhere tropical, I'd love that. Yeah, we should go to all the places in the world I have not been. Can we do a world building festival atop Mount Everest? I would like that. Let's make it happen, lads. Everest Base Camp. Blender speedrunning in Everest Base Camp. That's what we'll do. Anyhow, back to this, right? This is great. This is so much time. I can have the banter. I love it. Okay. What are we doing? Mountains. Okay, I think we're done with the land, right? I don't see anything that needs to be done. So we're going to pop into mountains. Now, do not expect mad detail here, folks. It's not going to happen. We're literally just going to block in areas where we expect mountains to be, but we're going to make a distinction between old mountains and new mountains, just to add a bit of kind of color variety and contrast, and to kind of tell sort of the story of the world, even though like we're not actually evolving it properly. So I'll start with the old mountains, because we can override some of those with the new mountains. I need a color of E1, E4, B5. Delightful, and that should hopefully be some sort of like vaguely browny yellow color. Actually, that's not brown, it's yellow. So now, oh lordy, what are we going to do? Oh, well, we said at the start that this was kind of, I was envisaging this as being a sort of smashed on bit of the continent. So maybe what we could do here is, oh, now part of me wants to have 8 into this a little bit more, but look, we can't, beggars can't be choosers. Part of me wants to run an old mountain chain around here to show like that was where the continents collided back in the day, and then that extends out into here. I'm not entirely sure how realistic that is off the top of my head, but it's fine for our purposes here. And again, don't expect greatness here. This is just going to be very basic, very just indicating what's going on. So we'll run a mountain down, run it down here, maybe something like that. There we go, that was. And I'm making no assertions as to how tall these mountains are, just that they're old. If it's a recent collision, they could still be very tall. If it was a collision in the distant past, they could be basically ground level. I'm not making any distinction there. And we'll fill that in a second. So now, again, I don't care about zoom here because I'm not doing line work, so I can zoom into my heart's content. Oh, here's a fun thing. Look, I'm painting, and that's not filling in. See, there's a weird little, there's a weird little gap there. That happens sometimes. I don't know why. Just change your brush size basically, and then go over it again, and it works. That happens every now and then, and there's not much I can do about it. So very roughly, just sketching in that these were some sort of old mountain range. Delightful. Something along here. Good. There, I see. Look, it's doing it again. See that triangle? It's something's not jiving with the geometry of the sphere, but that's fine. We just change our brush size, and then it works. Yeah. Let's fit all these boils in. There we go. Again, I would do more detail where this like world proper, but that's fine. Okay, so that's an old mountain. Kind of want there. I kind of want there to be like, this is a really big lump of land with no active mountains at all. Let's say that back in the day, 2 halves smashed together somewhere somehow, and let's just run a mountain range like basically up the middle. I think is what I'll do. So I'll join this up to here maybe, and let's run that maybe into here. Something like that. Let's make this a big one, or at least in part a big one. Like some sort of bloody mega Himalayas back in the day. I guess something like that is fine. Let me just fill this in a bit. God, you and the triangles today, Blender. Sometimes you go through it and there's no triangles at all in the session, and then other times it's just triangle central. It's Edgar's Discount Triangle Warehouse. Okay. Something like that. That's fine. Sure, that's gravy. Now, next thing. This chap here. I'm gonna make this an old large Igneous province. Right? So I'm just gonna fill this in. Back in the day, something popped off. I'm getting vaguely India vibes from this. Or Indian subcontinent vibes. There you go, large Igneous province. Great. These two separated. So again, we would expect there to be some sort of large Igneous province. So I might plonk it here. And then the copy should be, or the other half of it should be on this side. So let's do that. And let's make this a really big one, right? Like a proper giganto. This nuked all the wildlife sort of large Igneous province. Oh no, I painted outside the lines. Oh dear. Fire the artist. Yeah. The cool thing about large Igneous provinces is you can also give them kind of very irregular shapes because they're not like orogeny. It's just like lava, product of lava. So let's bring it in here. There we go. So that's the other side of the large Igneous province. Cool. And that will remain as an old mountain range. Here's where I really want a history to be able to be all like, what do I fill this space in with? Because right now that is all just homogeneous flat plane. But I think for our purpose here, it's fine. This is not going to be an old mountain. Let's say it's actively being raised. Here we'll do another large Igneous province here. Let's split this fella up. I'm inclined to think it's Maybe here. Yeah, maybe at the top here. Yeah, let's. Oh, don't know about that, Edgar. Look, it's fine. It's fine. At least it hints at a sort of history. And then so this nubbin, this is the in out. So that lines up with something along here. Maybe make this a little bit tighter. Like most of the split is on the other side. Something like that. There we go. That's definitely a thing. Okay, fine. Yeah, grand. That's grand there. Okay, here we have that large King's province. Do I want something else? Probably should have some of these larger things be a product of something smashing together. Let's have a sort of vaguely horizontal mountain range to contrast with our vaguely vertical mountain range. And also, I'm a big sucker for just having vertical mountain ranges, like north-south running, because obviously rain shadows. And if you've like a horizontal mountain range, that's a little bit harder to justify, at least without a proper like weather map, wind, like atmospheric pressure and winds map. So I'm just gonna go vaguely. I want down this way somewhere. So let's say there's vaguely an old mountain range up in this sort of zone, and actually we'll make this a thin one, like a Ural type vibe. Just for the crack. Either it's a Ural type vibe or it's like heavily ground down. We'll see. Right click, mix, switch to erase alpha, increase brush size, get rid of this. Okay, look at that detail. My God, right click, erase alpha, switch to mix. Mix is kind of like normal paint mode. Fine. Let's just leave it at that. Cool. Oh, in fact, actually, we should probably call these things in. That would make sense. Now, let's come over here. Color pick. I'm assuming I can color pick just from here, right? And that enters OK into the fill bucket, yeah? Hey, let's start filling stuff in. Let's get here. Most of the stuff is happening here, I suppose. Oh, actually, no, most stuff is happening, yes, here. So put the viewport there. And then let's start filling stuff in. How delightful. What a treat. We got old mountains everywhere. Beautiful. Okay, I think that's most of it. Okay, what's chat saying? I think he will get to them. No inland lakes yet. Oh, remind me of them because I will be liable to forget. We should probably try and throw in a couple of glacial lakes. So yeah, someone remind me of that at the end if you've not done it. We'll do that in the rivers layer. Maybe you could have some failed rift valleys in the area. I would treat that as being kind of like, I'm essentially thinking of topography is coming in two forms. Sea level-ish plus mountain-ish, and I would include the rift valleys in the sea level-ish. Also glacial lakes. Yes, we should put in some glacial lakes at the end if we have time. Rivers and lakes do go together. Yes, full ticks. It looks like a rhino. Which one looks like a rhino? This one looks like a rhino. Which I'm getting absolutely no rhino vibes. Maybe here, a rhino with many eyes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna skip rift valleys. Yeah, because I mean, when we put in rivers, we could just assume that the rivers are going through some of the rift valleys, and I'm not setting up a split. The other one, yeah, I love when people, because of the lag, it's great crack because it's like everything's a little bit behind, so it's like the north one kind of does. No, the other one, yes, on this side. It's basically impossible to unless you were to be like, I'm going to shut up now and wait for instruction, but doing it like the other way around doesn't work. Which is just fun. Okay, all right, okay, here we go. So that was that. Let's save. Oh no, let's not fill in the entire world with mountains. That would be a bad idea. Save image. How are we doing? 40 minutes. This is leisurely. I could go downstairs. I could have breakfast. I could do the mail for a little bit, come back, have a shower, and I'd still probably have 50 minutes left. This is awesome. I love this so much. Huelos, hello. How are you, Huelos? Patron of the show. Thank you very much for the patronage. Yes, this is just a one-off planet build. With all respect to this project, I would want something a lot more detailed if I were to like hold on to it for a while. Stop coloring in the whole planet, will you? Oh, silly man. Okay. That's that. I don't like the Himalayas being here anymore, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Just we need to keep moving. Oh, we're not done with mountains. What am I talking about? Now we need to put in our new mountains. New mountains are great because you kind of know where they're going to go, which is awesome. So hex value, new mountain C3A76B. Delightful. Is that the right brown color? Oh, I put it in the fill bucket. Now I'm going to have to re-enter the bloody thing in the brush bucket because it doesn't have color continuity between tools. Blah. C3A76B. Yeah, that is it. That's such a... Yeah, that's fine, yeah. I was about to say it looks like vomit over here. Okay. Right, now, so this is obvious where the subduction zones are. We know that there's a subduction zone. How are these subductions? I'm not even going to ask how the plates are meeting up. I have no idea. All right, so we said we had a subduction zone along here, so we have a big old Andean mountain range along here. How delightful! I'm not paying any attention to how thick this mountain range is. It is what it is. Again, speed building for like, you got a last minute D&D session and you've 2 hours left and you need to make a somewhat okay looking world map. That's what we're going for. And then, I have to zoom in here. Look at them pixels, isn't it great? Anyone here have advanced knowledge of Blender? Can anyone tell me how to make a world map or a globe in 4K? Because no matter what I do, we always have this nonsense here, and it's like it's pixelated even like at a pretty far out zoom level. The resolution just isn't very good. Does anyone know how to make a much higher resolution thing? Because if that were the case, I'd actually, because I don't actually advocate for doing all the work in Blender for the aforementioned scaling reasons, but if I can get higher res, I would consider it at the very least. So someone fill me in about that. If people have knowledge, or if it's very, very complicated, as in like, you need to make sure in setup to do this and then tick this and do that. Email me or slide into my DMs on Discord. Links should be, if not in this description, they should be in the description of every other video I make. And I think my email address is in my About Me page, which, to be honest with you, I should really take down because I am first world, Z-list YouTuber problems here, but I'm just very not impressed with the amount of business spam that I get. So I kind of need to. I'm considering wiping my email from the internet to kind of cull the flood, so to speak, because it's chaos. I'm so sick of like, would you like to grow your audience with the enhanced power of AI? And I'm like, no, not even slightly. Or my favorite is like, we loved your because it's all just spam, right? Where it's like, we loved your last video on. And then they put in the title of the last video. But it's fun because sometimes they do a very bad job and they leave the kind of like, I guess, what would you call it? Like code in there. Like, so you get like angle bracket, insert frame. And you get like the code left in there. And I'm like, yeah, great. You didn't watch the video at all. And part of me would love to one day reply and be all like, thank you, Malcolm, for your email. What was your favorite part of my last video? I'd love to do that, assuming they're not just a bot. That would be great crack. But I live in fear that they'll actually, like, in replying, I'll be forwarded on to a Nigerian prince or something, and then it's all chaos from down there. Anyhow, sorry, yeah. The fever dream, the tiredness fever dream of world building at an ungodly hour because Madeline forced me to is setting in, and now I'm just rambling and talking absolute nonsense. What about using a vector? Can one do vectors? J dotty sphere. J do this here. J do this here. Are there vectors in Blender? That's the thing. If there are, hells yeah. If not, why am I zoomed in like this? This is chaos. It'll take me all day. Here we go. Yeah. If there are vectors, I'll take it. I absolutely will. I just don't know enough about the program to say for sure. That's why I was zoomed in. I was trying to get this. Okay, this is again too much detail. Edgar, cop on. All right. Sure. Okay, fine. That's fine. The rest of them are just more low lying. It's grand. We can fill it in later. Perfect. No, here. Okay, I'm gonna do so all of these are like Andean, so they're quite thin. These new mountain ranges. This chap here. In fact, is this our last? This is our last new mountain range. This chap here, I'm inclined to maybe do a like, you know, the kink of South America. I could get screwed the wrong way. I need to show my face for this, unfortunately. Anyway, so this is probably backwards for y'all. I don't know. You know the way, like, if you start on the Pacific Ocean, South America goes like this, and then it kinks in a little bit around Peru, and then continues almost straight down along Chile. It does that a little bit. In the little kinky part there, I need stuff. The Andes like spread out real thick, like they go real far inland. That's more Laramide area of the thing. So let's say that maybe some mid-ocean ridge was subducted real hard here, and so we'll make this like a thicker zone, or at least a portion of it thicker. So we'll maybe run thin here and bulge it out around there. I think that's what we're going to do, friends. Okay, right. I'm back on the screen. I am. This is great. Who would have thunk it, right? Undershoot. Just be all like, I have 2 hours. Let me make sure I get this thing done in an hour. And then on stream with all the tangents, it turns into an hour and a half. Everyone's chilling. Oh, love it. No, but I'm streaming next. I helped make a PowerPoint. What? Well, I don't know what that's in relation to. Did I do something wrong? The kinky party means Bolivia. I'm not sure if that's a joke. That's a rhino with a blanket. Okay. Oh, maybe Madeline left it. Is that different? Wait, hold on. Food world building, bit different than the last one. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, say that name has been dropped. In my Discord, JG Online, and I need to look into that. I don't know this person at all. Anyhow, it was explained to me last night. Not last night, the night after my chaos music stream. And I forget who it was. I think some ethnomusicologist person. I think. But yeah, I will check out. I will check them out. Okay, cool. And then here's the downside about these nubbins. You have to keep zooming in. They do look schmexy as all hell, though. Okay, great. Why am I fitting it in like this? I could just use the paint bucket tool. Don't lose a run of yourself, Edgar. So yeah, I'm inclined to, like, let's say we continue Andes, like thin Andes, all the way up to like there, right? And then from there on in, we'll have like a mid-ocean ridge do its thing. So we could, like, yeah, at least double it in thickness, kind of, and we'll make it at regular shapes. Sort of like that. So it's all, at least we're kind of, we're sort of hinting at the fact that it's like the Rockies. It's all kind of gnarly and things like that. paint inside the lines. God damn it. Great, good. I'm not sure how in the line some of that is, but that's on the line, but that's fine. It's fine. We'll continue on. This is a speed run. This is not a perfection stream. I need to remind myself of that. Okay. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Boop. That's fine. That'll do there. That'll do there. Are we done with mountains? Again, obviously there's more I could do with mountains, right? But like, otherwise I have to sit and try and come up with a bloody prehistory, or a history thereof, and that is more time than I'm willing to dedicate to this world. Okay, maybe it's the reward of going back to sleep that's keeping me going at this ungodly hour. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why I'm in relative good spirits despite being forced to stream. Forced, I tell you, to stream at this hour. Yeah, see, look, real paint.net vibes there. Like, it'll fill in up to here, and then it's like, oh, well, what do I do now? And they have to click it again, and it's all very basic. But you know, if you want to do everything on the globe to minimize distortions and things like that and avoid the 2D plane, then great. Okay. Let me just, before I move on, because I'm liable to forget bloody everything. I have got it all marked in, I guess. Technically. Not technically. Oh god, you're tired of this set again. Technically, there would be some sort of mountain here. Xenomanukea. Boom. That was, really needed that. Like, the word would have been completely incomplete without those two little additions. Okay, save. And then Q, save. Blender. 30 minutes left. I got so much time. It's great. I am catastrophically tired. Oh lordy. Okay. Right. Rivers. Shall we river? To river or not to river? Definitely to river. So remember those glacial lakes, right? Name the world. Oh yeah, we should name a world. Suggestions in chat. Give me suggestions. I'm my brain doesn't function at this hour, at all. Actually, I have one word that I've been kind of using as my go-to cool sounding word over the while. Okay, well, Cahill, sorry, hold on one second. No, so here, okay, so there's two things here, right? His face cam isn't on because the lighting makes his eyes look ugly. Like, that is a large part of it, but the more serious part is that my face blocks the UI and I want you to see the UI. Because usually when I stream, I have myself here in the bottom, but particularly at the start of the stream, so much of the setup is involved here. And then if I put myself onto the other side of the screen, sure, I'm just blocking all of the layer stuff and you can't see that. So really I need to be at the top right hand side of the screen, but then I just be this floating decapitated body with like a mic hanging out of nowhere. Like I did it and I was like, that looks stupid. So I was just like, yeah, I just want to, I sort of paint the picture. I'm not entirely vain, just a little bit vain. Someone suggested rhino. Everyone's rhino. Okay, I mean, we could do that. We can always like, yeah, we can spice it up here, chat. Like, we can spice it up and make it look more fantasy by doing something like that and all that sort of crack. We can just stick on extra useless letters and it'll be fine. Sure, rhino. Love it. Okay, so rivers. So we want to go back to, white's black. That's worrying. That's very disconcerting. Like, super disconcerting. That should not be black. Land border 09788B. Now I will say rivers in Blender, like, not the greatest use, because again, mono thickness the whole way through. It can look a bit janky, but you know, the conceit of this is we're doing it all in Blender. Now, Now, friends, Romans, countrymen. We said the ice went up to around here, right? So we want to have a sort of like ring of glacial lakes. I'm inclined to. We can add an ice cap. Lads, we should add an ice cap. Okay, I'm going to go off script a little bit and just add the ice cap to the river layer just because I don't want to make a new layer. Let's just add an ice cap, right? Because that tells us where we currently are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just put it in pure white. All right. So let's say that the ice cap. I mean, really, the ice cap should run into mountains. These mountains should be ice capped. Really, I could have saved some time there. And then maybe we'll run it down to, what is that, 60? I'm not liking this because I kind of would want to run, but the ocean is a moderating factor. Let me just start painting and we'll see where we get at. God, that is a manky look. Oh, it's because of all the lines, yeah. So, yeah, I'm thinking for sure, like, there's no way I'm stopping it before the mountains. Like, I'm thinking, whoa, God, okay, no. I'm thinking this overwrites the mountains. In which case, you see, now, why are you all triangly, my friend? And then the other bits weren't triangly. Are you, what are you doing here? Okay, I'm going to go back to mountains and I'm going to take that mountain range and hopefully I can just fill this in so I don't have to paint it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Fs. Boop. Yes. Boop. Right, and we'll just say mainland. I'm sure there's some ice caps here and things like that, but we'll just say mainland ice caps. So we'll pop back to, okay, these ice caps are just going to span several different layers. It's fine. It's grand. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't panic. I'm not panicking. Why are you panicking? I'm not panicking. Okay. So, there's a mismatch of color. God damn it. It's fine. No, it's not fine. I can't live with that. I need to minimize that. I'm so sorry. I need to just see, this is what happens when I freestyle and go away from the planned route. Things go wrong. And as any great speed runner will say, you gotta have a plan. Okay, so if we say the ice caps extend to there, problem I'm having here is that if I extend them to these mountains, actually, no, we can just say that these mountains are not mountains anymore. They're very low lying, right? Because if they were high mountains, because obviously you could extend the ice, you should extend the ice further down if there's mountainous regions, right? Because, you know, elevation, coldness. If these were mountains proper, I would be like, I could see the ice stopping here, but then they probably should be the mountains, and then it's all the way down here, and then it's kind of like last ice age, maybe. So I'm just going to say, to kind of hint at the fact that these are entirely eroded away, I'm just going to like halfway along somewhere here, maybe, just cut the ice off here, right? So we're treating this as almost flat-ish ground, if that makes sense. And we'll just say that is a funky looking ice cap, but I mean, it's fine. Again, it's a speed run. It doesn't need to be perfect. Nothing here needs to be perfect. Stop trying to make it perfect, Edgar. Right, so so we can't have any glacial lakes in this area, right? Obviously. Now, come here to me, my friend. If I paint you in, are you going to behave? You are. Like, sometimes, Blender, you're a fickle git sometimes, Blender. I don't know what to make you. Okay, so just bear with me. Bearing. I can't paint bucket this in because I don't think Blender recognizes these triangles as like closed geometric boundaries in a way. So we'll just color this in, and then we'll scoot on over to here. Again, this doesn't actually matter in making the world. It just makes me feel better. Okay. Right. Okay. So I guess if this is the rhino that everyone's talking about. It's like a rhino who I can make an 18 plus joke here, but I'm not sure. Can I do that? Like, I don't think I'm beyond the watershed yet. But I guess rhino who whose nose was covered in baking soda. I guess. You make of that what you will. Okay, so brush, and now let's make our river color, which is going to be the same as our border color, so everything blends. 0978 AB. That is a layer. How delightful. All right, so now come here to me now, Rhino, I guess, referring to the world. So if we're saying that the glaciers extended out to, we'll just say the 60th parallel for argument's sake. And remember, we can justify, we don't have to have the glacial lakes exist at the maximal extent. You can do that. You can also just justify the glacial lakes existing in areas where the ice sheets were had persisted for a long time. Like, you can imagine the ice was out here, right? And then it began receding and receding, and for whatever reason, there was something happened to the climate that, like, around here, it stalled for ages, and it kind of built up pressure and things like that. My camera's on. Oh my god, there we go. Actually, I probably can leave myself on, to be honest with you. No, I should keep the UI. No, sorry, I'm sorry for leaving myself on. No one should be subjected to a face like that. So yeah, it could just pause there for a while, sink the ground, all that sort of jazz, and then, like, you could have some lakes be justified there. So you can kind of justify the lakes going basically anywhere, is what I'm saying. If you're going to have these glacial lakes, part of me is kind of liking, I don't know if this is if this makes any physics sense. It makes any physics sense at all, but why can't I zoom? Oh, that's because I'm on the wrong screen. Hello, thank you. I'm seeing these mountains. Anyway, mountains like depress the land. And I appreciate that if the mountains are gone or near gone, the land will kind of like can rebound a little bit, and the ice is gone, so the land is rebounding. But there's something about this area here with it kind of being under a lot of pressure, being depressed and things like that, that maybe it feels like I want some lakes in here. So what I might do is I might just, instead of having like a perfect ring of lakes like Canada, I might just do that. Actually, the more I think about, the more the reasoning seems a little bit flawed. I might just do like a mimicking a sort of Great Lakes vibe in here, I guess. Just something a bit like that, I think. Yeah, and I'll just a hinty poo. Nothing more than a little hinty poo. I don't know. Look, I'm sorry to continue with the 18s plus talk, but I don't know what it is about me and making moderately phallic looking lakes. Like, it's just, I have a real problem. It's a real problem there, and I've been laughed at on the internet for many years about it. So I guess that it's an ugly looking lake, but I guess it's a little bit less phallic. And then maybe, just we'll stick another one up here. Some sort of, maybe a longer one up here, maybe. Again, we're not going for mad realism. So it's fine. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, okay. Just something vaguely like that is fine. That's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. And then I guess what we could do as well, we could just have, let me think about this for a second. We could have like maybe 15 minutes. Actually, this doesn't matter because we're basically done. Like, we put in as many rivers until the time runs out, essentially. But I'm thinking we should put in an endorheic basin somewhere, right? So that's where all the water drains into, like Caspian Sea. It all drains into the place, into a lake, but it doesn't exit via a river. It exits via evaporation. So if we have, I'm trying to find a good place where the evaporation is not too high, not too low. Ooh, I don't really have a good place. We could just fudge it. So I was looking at this and I was like, okay, maybe when these two land masses came into contact back in the day, there was actually like a sort of, I guess, an irregular parcel coastline here, and then basically a hunk of sea got trapped here that became a modern lake. Around about the 30-degree latitude feels very no, but up here we have like, this is like yeah, actually up here is kind of like Ireland sort of temperatures, climates, I guess. Maybe it's a very small bit of ocean. Maybe we can keep water coming into it. Yeah, let's, okay, screw it. Like screw the science. Let's go. I'm just gonna put in a kind of along here. I'll put in a fairly large. And by fairly large, it's gonna look pretty small. Like, I'm not gonna go too crazy. This is an endorheic basin, so no rivers will exit that basin. Okay, cool. All right, rivers. So here now again, we want to make sure we're on we're going to save first of all. That's what we're going to do. Boop, blender. That's the rhino. Why not two? Yeah, you can go mad. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of endorheic basins around the world. Okay, if I were to flesh this in fully, I could go more crazy. How is he not seeing it? Wait, this is the rhino. I mean, I must be like, this must be a horn or something. Like, is it just the top bit? Because the whole thing doesn't look like a rhino. What are you talking about? Everyone's like, yes, I totally don't see it. What are you talking about? Look at the top. Oh, yeah. Oh, so it's just the little top bit. Finally, it's on its side. Thank you, spaceman. I don't really see it either. Thank you very much, sir. Like, I mean, again, I guess like it's a rhino if we just look at this part, I guess. Like, there's a little eye socket here. Yeah. And he's got a little mohawk, I guess. Or his little ears, maybe. But like the whole land just doesn't look like a rhino at all. The peninsulas are legs. What are you even? Nah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the peninsulas are legged. It's a whole rhino. The lake is an eye. I think I'm being gaslit here. It's not a rhino. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We have to make some rivers, okay? I'm gonna say in 5 minutes, I'm going to export this and put it into Photoshop so we could see a full image, because I need some time to plug the other world building stuff that's occurring. So Shift C, constant distance, could mean a constant stroke sort of thing. Okay, I guess we have some like meltwater coming off the thing here, I suppose. I'm just going to let's run a couple of rivers. So you come out of here, and then maybe you drain into here. You're a bit, you can come here, and then we'll say you're coming out of here predominantly. And obviously it's just going to go down here. So we'll go woo, all the way along here. Fantastic. I'm not really paying too much attention to this, the shape basically, and just to like, yeah. So here, come in here. I'm also not paying too much attention to climate zone, right? Because I'm sure someone would be like, wait a minute, that's a desert, and you have this lush river system going through it. It's fine. We'll call it ephemeral, and that we're grand. So at the very least, I'm going to try and have one like nice-ish looking river system going on, maybe two. We'll see how it goes. And there would be some highland here, but I'm just going to come off what it looks like mountains, and that's it. And then sure, there. Okay. It's not the best river system in the world, but a river system it is nonetheless. Here, there, and I could go on obviously for days here. I could run you in this way. There we go. Okay, that's absolutely delightful. And we just pretend there's some sort of topography here that's forcing that shape. And then, yeah, again, there would obviously be, again, we're saying sort of low lying, but you could have like some elevation there to run. Oh, consistent, Edgar. Run bits in like that. Great. All right, how delightful. That's fine. Yeah. In fact, actually, do you know what? I'm going to leave it that. I'm just going to, just for argument's sake, I'm going to say like that's the Nile, right? That's our version. It's a Nile that's fed by glacial runoff. We'll say that's the case. And in fact, actually, just let's codify that. Can I do? Yes. Let's just say that there's maybe the ice caps are melting like something schnerious, and let's say we're running. We have this thing here. It's running. In fact, if we're pretending that this is a little bit mountainy, let's run that. There we go. We have some sort of glacial meltwater runoff malark happening. I don't know how valid the physics is of this, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. We're good. Okay, there we go. That's basically the Nile. I'm going to leave it there because I'd like to give myself time to like not rush the outro. Cool. All right. Save. Queue. Save. Blender. Good. I mean the Nile in the sense of a like the biggest the longest river in the world sort of sense. Like I'm only marking in the longest river. Edgar trying hard not to make a mini series on his planet. Don't worry, that's not going to happen. Okay. Blender. So obviously, we can see the planet in 3D here. But it'd be nice to see it on flat because I can't show you obviously all of it, and I can't show it here as well because it only shows a portion at a time, each layer at a time. I don't know of a way of exporting all the layers and collapsing them into one, so we're just going to have to work with it. I'm going to save the river layer. I'm going I'm going to switch to mountains, image, save as mountains, and let's save it in my folder. Land, image, save as. God, I'm starting to get really hungry now. Oh, breakfast. Eggs on toast. Oh, let's go. Save as, shelf, save image as. Cool. And then we can go to Photoshop. Or Illustrator. Makes no difference. We'll just open Photoshop. File, new, and 5000 by 2000. Yada, yada, yada. Blender, speed run. Create, and then finally last thing we're going to do, this is the timing, chef's kiss. We're going to go to World Building Festival Blender speed run, and we're going to boot all of this stuff into here, and we'll just drop in there, and we have our graticules, we have our land, we have our mountains, we have our ocean, we have our river, and then we just need to do some switcheroonies, and we're gravy. Graticules, I'm going to take that graticules and make it just half strength. Yeah, they don't need to be that strong. Shelf goes on top of ocean, land, mountain, river. Done. Okay, right now. So as we can see here, it's great that this is obviously representative of what these shapes would be on a globe, but one of the reasons why I just do not advocate doing this all in Blender without any other applications is strokes and stuff, if you're going to use strokes, or rivers, more importantly, they distort, obviously, with the distortions, right? So I would not advocate just doing it in Blender. And like particularly, look how bad rivers look. Like it really does. Without the tapering line weights and so on and so forth. So yeah. Do as much as you can in Blender, but don't do all of it. How do I keep doing that? Ooh. Oh no, Tungster, my first time catching a stream. We're finishing up right now, unfortunately. How do I make a tectonic drift animation mobile without G-plates? That's difficult. That's very, very difficult. I don't know how you would do that. This is a desktop thing, for sure. And if you're not going to use G plates, you could just, use you'd have to use After Effects to do that, or like Cinema 4D because you're doing the 3D animation. It's tough. As awkward as G plates is, other solutions are more awkward. Anyhow, tangent cam. Oh no, not tangent cam. I have to put this onto the thing. Okay, so with 5 minutes left, so let me do the redirecting sort of jazz. I'm gonna put on my camera for this. Hello. This stream, as we said at the start, was part of Madeline James's wonderful world building festival. It's been running for the past 2 days all over YouTube, featuring your favorite content creators like me. Babe, Con Langery, Hannah Something, Langtime Studio, Let's Have a Booba, Madeline herself, Matthias. Does Matthias have a name other than Matthias on the internets? I don't know. Matthias, I don't know this person. Red Something Gaming. This is Ross Bay Geo, formerly known as Ross Bay Geo. That's Lands Unknown now. And then World Building Pasta, the man, the myth, the legend. So all your favorites are lads, plus some new faces. Today is the final day, and there's streams running literally all day long, like deep into the night my time. The next stream after this is going to be hosted by Jake from Let's Have a Boova, Hannah Smith, and Madeline James, and it's world building food from kitchen to table. Right, very fun. You can have it with your breakfast. Europeans, have some breakfast, listen to a bunch of nerds talk about food. And it's great. It's so good. I use nerds affectionately there, obviously. And then there's so much more on till today. Catch as many streams as you can. Support these creators. Support this festival. If it's a good idea, Madeline might decide to put on another one in person in Europe, maybe in Ireland. So show all the support. And like I said at the start, if you can, I would, and if this is a thing that interests you as becoming more of a established thing, I would love for everyone to tune in at least sometime during the final stream of the night. Some final shenanigans goes from 11 to 1 a.m. UTC with Madeline and Ross Bay Geo. Drop in, leave some W's in the chat, say how much you liked it if you did and how much you'd want more. Positive feedback would be great. I won't be there because I'll be asleep. That is a terrible hour. All these terrible hours. Okay, so that's that. Now, if you want to catch the next stream, the links are in the usual places, but you can just wait on this stream, and I've redirected the stream to that stream. So you can just sit here basically, and it'll move you forward. So I would encourage you to do so. So far, the stream's been great. The ones I've been able to catch have been absolutely amazing. Breakfast, it's 12. Well, it's 11. It's 11 right now for my time. And also, I haven't had breakfast at all. So any time is a good time for breakfast if you haven't had breakfast. I said doobly-doo, yes. Okay. Okay, all right. So that's me. I guess I hope you enjoyed the world that we created, and hopefully that shows people that it can be done, and it's a relatively quick amount of time. It can look okay. Maybe if you just don't do rivers, it'll look okay. And yeah, hope you got something from that. So have a good one, and until next time. Wait, I should be on this camera. Until next time, Edgar out.